Good evening, respected all, distinguished guests and delegates of CTPD Con Era 2024. I, Dr. Pooja Verma, co-convener of Track 2, Conference Organizing Joint Secretary, Associate Program Director, Quality Circle CTPD India and Assistant Professor, School of Education, K.R. Mangalam University, Gurugram, Haryana. Welcome you all to the second virtual international conference on educational reforms and advancements organized by CTPD, that is Council for Teachers Professional Development, in collaboration with organizing partners like K.R. Mangalam University, Gurugram, Haryana, Belcotia's University, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh, Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad, Satyug Darshan Institute of Education and Research, Faridabad, DAV PG College, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, Institute of Teacher Education, Faridabad, Haryana, Thakur Shyam Narayan College of Education and Research, Mumbai, Maharashtra, Sanjay Teachers Training College, Jaipur, Rajasthan, Social Development and Research Foundation, India, and CTEF Council for Teacher Education Foundation, India. I now invite Dr. Rupali Behel, Associate Professor, Department of Teacher Education, DAV PG College, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, India, who is the moderator for the session. We welcome you, ma'am, and please lead the session. Thank you. Rupali, ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaskar to all. Myself, Dr. Rupali Behel, Associate Professor, Department of Teacher Education, DAVPG College, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, India. It's a great honor for me to be the moderator for this educative technical session of CTPD Con Era 2024, Track 2, based on the theme Quality Education for Holistic Learning. The sub-theme of this technical session, that is 2.3, is Assessment and Evaluation. Today's session focuses on quality education for holistic learning, a comprehensive approach to evaluation, and assessment, which leads to the development of wholesome personality. Assessment and evaluation are key aspects helping in progress and shaping of future. It aims to develop a well-rounded individual with love for learning and reverence for life. The session is also about rethinking how we measure student success, moving beyond rote learning to a more dynamic and holistic approach. Experts and educators will today discuss innovative evaluative methods that focus on critical thinking, creativity, and real-world problems, ensuring that every student's potential is being recognized. Thus, event sets a stage in transforming assessment into a powerful tool for building Viksit Bharat. Today, we have eminent speakers and paper presenters who shall be sharing their expertise and insight in this field. Now, I am delighted to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed chair, Dr. Kiran Lata Dangwal, Ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Education at University of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, India. We welcome you all. We welcome you, Madam. And our co-chair, esteemed co-chair, Sir Mam Shameen, Faculty of English, Southeastern University of Sri Lanka, for gracing us with their presence and leading this significant session at CTPD Con Era 2024. I extend a warm welcome to the convener of the track, Dr. Reena Unyal Tiwari, Associate Professor, Department of Teacher Education, DAVPG College, Dehradun. Welcome, ma'am. And I also extend my welcome to co-conveners of the track, Dr. Pooja Verma, Assistant Professor, School of Education, K.R. Mangalam University, Gurugram, Haryana, India, and Dr. Megha Joyal, Assistant Professor, KLDAV PG College, Roorkee, Uttarakhand, India. We welcome you, ma'am. I feel honored to introduce you to Dr. Reena Unyal Tiwari, Conference Organizing Secretary, Program Director, Quality Circle, Ctpd India. Dr. Reena Unyal Tiwari is presently working as Associate Professor, Department of Teacher Education, DAV College, Dehradun, Uttarakhand. In her career of 27 years as a teacher educator, over 30 research papers and 17 chapters in edited books are to her credit. She is a member of editorial board of 2 national level journals, and she has been resource person and keynote speaker in various faculty development programs, conference, seminars, and workshops. She has received numerous accolades. One of them is Asian Education Award for Best Teaching 2021. May I request and invite you, ma'am, to please present an overview of the plenary session 2.3. Dr. Reena Unyal Tiwari, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rupali Mahal, ma'am, for the gracious introduction. Thank you so much. A very warm namaskar and good evening to all distinguished educationists, paper presenters, participants, faculty who are present here in this virtual platform. The third technical session on assessment and evaluation of Track 2, Quality Education for Holistic Development. Assessment and evaluation are critical tools in enhancing the quality of education and promoting the holistic development of students. Holistic development assessments consider the social, emotional, physical, as well as intellectual growth of learners. A balanced assessment framework integrates both cognitive and non-cognitive aspects, helping the educators to provide a comprehensive view of students' progress. For effective assessment, the strategies are balanced approach, balanced approach, clear objectives, personalized feedback, and use of diverse assessment methods to cater to different learning styles and cultural backgrounds. A well-rounded assessment and evaluation framework is essential to achieve quality education as well as to promote holistic development. In today's technical session 2.3, paper presenters will present their thoughts and ideas on the subtheme Assessment and Evaluation for Quality Education. Best wishes to all. I am delighted to extend warm welcome to session chair, Dr. Kiran Lata Dangwal ma'am, and co-chair, Dr. Ma'am Sameem, for gracing us with their presence. Thank you, sir and ma'am. It is our honor to have you on this virtual platform. Welcome.
It's my honor. Thank you, ma'am, for this overview. It's my honor to introduce our esteemed chair, Dr. Kiran Lata Dangwal, ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Education at University of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, India. Dr. Kiran Lata Dangwal, ma'am, is an eminent academician and a former additional dean of the academic cell, University of Lucknow. Her expertise lies in ICT-enabled education, educational technology, with a focus on computer education and social science pedagogy. She prioritizes students' learning. Dr. Dangwal has been invited to deliver lectures at prestigious institutions globally. In her career of 26 years, over 80 research papers and 24 books are to her credit. She is also the first female professor at the University of Lucknow who trains NCC cadets as an associate NCC officer. She has been recognized for her work with several accolades. These are DG NCC Commendation Card, the title of Best NCC Officer, the title of Honorary Major too. She is well versed in creating free e-content, MOOCs and OERs and serve as chairperson for the committee to facilitate online content for SWAYAM and MOOC at her university. She is a resource person for developing open educational resources at the subcommittee in National Council for Teacher Education also. She has been awarded for uploading highest e-content in UP government portal. This is not the end. She relentlessly contributed at international level and developed MOOC for UNESCO International Mentoring online program. Apace with above, she is a founder, editor-in-chief of the Techno-Learn journal and associate editor of various other journals. Her simplicity and professional acumen have made her a more notable figure in Indian education. Thank you, ma'am. With your guidance, we are confident that this session will be resounding success, leaving a lasting impact on all participants. May I invite Dr. Kiranlata Tangwal ma'am to deliver her address.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are very much audible.
Thank you, everyone, and good evening to all the organizers, distinguished participants, and fellow speakers, and all the guests, those who are present here. It is my great honor to serve as a chair for the track 2.3, and which is related to the assessment and evaluation in this international e-conference. And in this time, or we can say when we are talking about the education is being reimagined to meet the challenges of the 21st century, and assessment and evaluation stands a cornerstone in shaping how we measure success, growth, and learning outcomes in the present era, especially when we are talking about the modern era or 21st century. So today we are not just discussing traditional method of assessment, but we need to know about the exciting world of alternative assessment in 21st century. So in my talk, I'll focus on the alternative assessment in the 21st century, which is redefining how we understand students, how we understand the potential of our students' creativity and critical thinking. Here, I just would like to share insights on the vital topic because this is really very important because everything is changing. Digital transformation is there in our education system. So we need to explore that how alternative assessment approaches can better align with the needs of our learners in this dynamic and ever evolving educational landscape. So let me discuss few things which are related to the alternative assessment, especially in 21st century. So the 21st century has witnessed significant transformation in education, largely driven by the advances in technology, shift in pedagogical approaches, and evolving societal expectations. And in this landscape, alternative assessment methods have emerged as essential tools to evaluate students' learning more comprehensively, moving beyond the traditional pen and paper examination. And generally, when we are focusing only and only on this essay type of question or descriptive question. So these alternative assessment provide a holistic understanding of students' abilities, including their critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and real-world problem-solving skills. So we need to understand this particular concept of alternative assessment. It is very, very important these days. So when we are talking about the alternative assessment, it refers to non-traditional methods of evaluating students' knowledge, skills, and competencies. Unlike conventional tests that often emphasizes on the memorization and reorganization of the facts, alternative assessment focuses on the student's ability to apply knowledge, analyze situations, and engage in deep learning. So it encourages active participation and reflective thinking, aligning with the needs of modern learners who must navigate complex and dynamic environment. So the 21st century, the scenario is totally competency-based, emphasizing that what learners can do with what they know rather than simply what they know. Means, again, I'll tell you that what learners can do with whatever they know rather than the simply what they know. So alternative assessment allows educators to measure skills such as creativity, collaboration, and problem solving. Especially these are the skills of 21st century. And next is personalized learning, means alternative assessment provide to individual learning styles and preferences also. They support personalized learning experiences where students can showcase their strength through the various means such as projects, portfolios, peer assessment, all these things. And this is a part of life learning skill also. Means the global economy demands more than just academic knowledge. It requires skills such as adaptability, communication, and teamwork. And alternative assessment nurtures these competencies, ensuring that students are prepared for life beyond the classroom. And this is a very, very relevant skill in the 21st century. And one more thing, which is very, very important when we are adopting this particular alternative assessment, that is critical thinking and problem solving. Means in this present era where information is readily accessible, we all know that everything is available on Google and everything is available in our mobile. So it's no longer enough to memorize the facts. So alternative assessment through tasks like case studies, real-world projects, evaluate students' ability to analyze, interpret, and use information critically. So the alternative assessment represents a vital shift in how we understand and measure students' learning in 21st century. And by focusing on skills like creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration, these assessments means these alternative assessments align with the needs of modern learners and the demand of a rapidly changing world. To fully realize the potential of alternative assessment, we educators or institutions or policymakers must address the challenges of implementation also, equity, scalability, ensuring that all the students can benefit from these transformative assessment method. So in today's track, when we are talking about the assessment and evaluation, I just focused on this one component of the assessment, and I'll see that maybe some of the participants are also focusing on this particular theme or topic about the alternative assessment. So my best wishes to all the participants, and my special thanks to Professor Reena Unyal, Professor Rupali, and everyone, those who are associated with the Ctpd, for inviting me here as a chairperson. Thank you, everyone, and my best wishes to all the participants.
Thank you, ma'am, for your address. Your insights have left an indelible mark on all of us. Now, I feel privileged to introduce our esteemed co-chair, Ma'am Sameem Sir, a faculty in English at Southeastern University of Sri Lanka. Ma'am Sameem is a senior lecturer in English at Southeastern University of Sri Lanka with a distinguished career spanning roles such as Head of English Department and Director of Student Support Services. He holds multiple degrees in linguistics and English, including PhD in TSOL reading. A seasoned educator, Sameem Sir has trained diverse groups, including administrators, students. He is a play therapist. He also served as a member of Standing Committee on Career Guidance and Counseling and English Language Teaching, UGC, for more than 8 years. He is also a member of Standing Committee on General Education and Early Childhood Education of Education Commission, Sri Lanka. He has served as a keynote speaker in many international conferences. As a play therapist, he is also a president of the Sri Lanka School Psychology Association. In his career of 25 years, he has over 50 journal articles and 11 books to his credit. His contributions to education have earned him numerous international accolades. Some of them are International Academic Excellence Award for Languages and Literature 2020, Excellence in Education and Allied Subjects 2021, the Best Educator Award 2021, Jawaharlal Nehru International Award 2023, and APJ Abdul Kalam International Award 2023. We eagerly anticipate the insights and discussion that will unfold here through your guidance. Without further delay, I would like to invite Chair Dr. Dangwal Ma'am to officially commence this session. Co-Chair Sir Sameem, we look forward to your valuable contributions throughout the session and dynamic synergy you will create with Chair Dr. Dangwal Ma'am. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Then apologies for late, because since I had some connectivity issue due to the power cut, I was late. Apologies. And madam, now you want to make any comment, because at the end of the session I can summarize everything, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Welcome,
Then
sir.
we'll ask the chairperson to Kiran ma'am to.
Yes, sir.
Do
Thank you
so.
very much. Thank you very much, sir, for your gracious presence at this platform. Anyhow, you get connected.
Thank you.
Without further delay, I would like to invite Chair Dr. Dangwal Madam to officially commence this session. Co-Chair Sameem sir, we look forward to your valuable contributions throughout the session.
Thank you.
Sir, with your permission, Madam, with your permission, can we start
Yes.
the paper presentation?
Yeah, sure. And I kindly request all the participants to enter their name and the title of their paper in the chat box as well, so that there will be no issue of writing their names, and sometimes there may be confusion.
If you don't mind, can I read the names, ma'am? I had the list. Shall I read
Okay.
them?
Yeah. Now, list is there, but sometimes
Yeah.
if there will be any confusion before starting, they
Okay.
can write their name and paper name in the chat box. And now we can start. Rupali ma'am, yes,
Yes,
please.
ma'am. Ma'am, we are pleased to inform that during there's some announcement for this paper presentation. That during valedictory session, the best paper presentation awards will be announced. The evaluation criteria for the awards include content quality, clarity of presentation, and effective use of visual aids and time management. Ma'am, I think we have
Yeah, I
mailed
have
you
that.
this criteria for the judgment.
Yeah.
Now we now commence with the paper presentation session. Let me reiterate and request the presenters to be concise and adhere to the time limit of 5 minutes for your presentation. So our first presentation is by Dr. Pallavi Khedkar, Director, Parole University, Vadodara, Gujarat, India. The title of the paper is Enhancing Higher Education Quality Through Student Feedback, a Critical Component for Academic Excellence and Student Engagement.
Ma'am, I cannot find Pallavi ma'am in the list. So next presenter, Dr. Megha Junial, can carry on with the presentation.
Now I invite Dr. Megha Juyal Madam, Assistant Professor, KLDAV PG College, Roorkee, Uttarakhand, India, to present paper on alternative assessment methods. Dr. Megha Juyal Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm privileged that I have been given this opportunity to present my paper in this e-conference.
Rupali ma'am,
ठीक है मैम.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is very much visible.
Okay, thank you very much. Respected chair, co-chair, conveners, convener, co-conveners, and dear participants, the topic of my presentation is transition to alternate assessment in education. As we all know that assessment has been always on the agenda of educational reforms. And as Dr. Kiran Datta said, that with the digital technology coming in and there is a knowledge explosion in the 21st century, it has become inevitable that the traditional assessment has to be replaced by alternative method of assessment. And these alternative assessment of methods, they are very different from the traditional method. As you can see on the point, the traditional criteria of standardization is not there. There is a lack of efficiency since it is quite subjective. It is expensive. That's why it is not cost effective. There is subjectivity. Machine scoreability to a certain limit is absent. And there is no standard form of testing. On the contrary, there are very different forms of testing which takes place from the beginning till the end of the process. The other names by which we know alternative assessments are authentic assessment, interactive assessment, performance assessment, holistic, informal assessment, contextualized assessment, assessment by exhibition, and assessment for learning. If we see the difference between the transition, why is it required? We need to focus on certain parameters and we need to address the contrast between traditional assessment and alternative assessment. Here, in traditional assessment, there is only one truth. There's only one answer. By alternative assessment, since it is based on socio-cultural theory, so every person is right and there are many truths. In learning, the participant or the learner is passive. On the other hand, in alternative assessment, since the learner is engaged throughout the process of learning, he is very active. Now here in traditional assessment, the process and the product are separated. That means the learning teaching is totally separated from the examination. On the other hand, in alternative assessments, the continuous and comprehensive evaluation which takes place from the beginning to the end is assessed. That is why it emphasizes on process and product. Learning process is individual in traditional assessment, and whereas alternative assessment, it is collaborative. There is peer teaching. Learners work together. They cooperate and collaborate to give a meaningful truth, to give a meaningful product to learning. Then the purpose of traditional assessment is to document learning, while alternative assessment is to facilitate learning. It believes that learner can construct his own knowledge and the teaching learning process helps in learning. Basically, traditional assessment, it focuses on the cognitive abilities. On the other hand, alternative assessment focuses on all the three domains, whether it is head, heart, or hand. Now, in traditional assessment, it can be objective or subjective, like MCQs or essay type tests. On the other hand, alternative assessments are particularly subjective and they are focused on the soft skills, that is the value, interest, aptitude, and attitude of a child. The power and the control in a traditional assessment is hierarchical. Teacher is the leader, while in alternative assessment, there is democratic model where there is a shared team building amongst the students and the teacher. Now, how do the alternative assessment methods work? First, one needs to calculate or one needs to find out the learning outcomes. What do the outcomes or what do the achievement actually should aim towards? And once the learning outcomes have been planned, then the methods, the methodology of assessment is planned. And once the methods are planned, then the teacher can incorporate the teaching learning activities involved in the assessment method. There are different types of alternative assessment methods that are being used, and even in our teacher curriculum, we are trying to incorporate these alternative assessment methods like rubric, peer tutoring, concept map ideas, cooperative learning, assessment, self-assessment, and portfolios, to name a few. Here I'm going to focus on portfolio. Basically, portfolio is a collection of students' material, which is meant to communicate his or her abilities, attitudes, values, and interest to the stakeholders, that is the teachers, the administration, the parents, the peers. Now, what is the significance of portfolio assessment? What does it assess? It basically assesses the achievement of the learning outcomes, what the child, what the learner has actually achieved. How can portfolio assessment be implemented? The learner during the whole year, whole academic year, is asked to collect 2 or 3 of his best preparation and presentations and make a draft of it and make a compilation and then reflect on those compilations. The reflections consist of what did he learn actually during the process of that particular action. Apart from that, what were his shortcomings and how will he overcome those shortcomings? Further, when should this portfolio assessment be carried out? As I mentioned earlier, it is a continuous and comprehensive process which starts when the learner enters the classroom or outside the classroom, and it carries on till his learning process finishes in a class. Where should the assessment be carried out? It is basically the assessment is meant to nurture the child for his professional career. So that is where the assessment should be carried out. And whom should carry out the assessment? It is all the stakeholders, all the people who are related directly or indirectly to the learner. That's all. These are some of the references that I have included in my presentation. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, unmute yourself, Rupali ma'am. Rupali ma'am, you are on mute.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Megha Joel, ma'am. It was very interesting to learn about the differences between traditional and alternative assessments, and they are based on the social culture theory. The question answer session will be taken after all the papers are presented. Thank you so much. Our next paper presenter is Dr. Basundhara Kumari, Assistant Professor, Gautam Buddha Teacher Training College, Hazaribagh, Jharkhand, India. The title of the paper is an analytical study to make a quality-based teacher, a case study of Hazaribagh district in Jharkhand.
Basundhara ma'am, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, ma'am.
Start sharing your paper with us. Madam, start sharing your paper. Vasundhara ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to share my view. Yes, ma'am. PPT, ma'am.
Okay. Should I share your PPT?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Fine.
Dr. Basundhara, please try to be concise, not more than 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Just a second. I'm sharing the PPT.
Ma'am, if she is having any problem, you can continue with other participants. So later on, she can present her paper.
Ma'am, I am trying to share her PPT from my side.
Okay.
Rupali ma'am,
हाँ जी. Ma'am, the
we can
screen.
move.
Ma'am, I have shared.
Okay.
Ma'am, is it visible?
Not yet, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, I try once again.
Ma'am, we can move on to the next participant and ask Dr. Basudra to send us the PPT through WhatsApp in the group.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Jaya, you can be ready and you
Yes.
can upload your PPT. And I have already made you the co-host. Miss Jaya. Miss Jaya Sharma, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here only.
G, you can share your PPT, please.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, okay. Wait a minute. मैम आप लोगों की स्क्रीन आ रही है?
No. नहीं, अभी नहीं आ रही है.
Yes, ma'am. रूपाली मैम,
Yes, ma'am.
I have shared my screen. आपको
Okay.
दिख रहा है? Hello.
हाँ,
Go ahead,
दिख रहा है.
go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Good evening, one to all present on the Ctpd Conera platform. I'm Jay Sharma, Assistant Professor, Agarwal College, presenting evaluating measurement techniques the nexus between the corporate social responsibility and the financial performance. Now, I want to introduce this. What is that CSR and the financial performance? This presentation explores the interconnection between the corporate social responsibility and the financial performance. It aims to evaluate measurement techniques that assess the impact of the CSR on the company economic outcomes, highlighting the importance of the integrating social responsibility into the business strategy. Now, what is that introduction to the CSR and financial, and after that, understanding the corporate social responsibility. What is that? The corporate social responsibility refers to the commitment to the business to the country, contribute positively to the society. It encompasses ethical practice, sustainability, and the community engagement. Understanding CSR is very crucial for evaluating the potential influence on the company financial health and reputation. Now, measurement and techniques. Measurement techniques overview. Various measurement techniques existing to evaluate effectiveness of the CSR initiative. This includes quantitative metrics such as ROI and the profit margin, the qualitative assessment like stakeholder and the feedback. Understanding this method is essential for the accurately gauging CSR impact on the financial performance. Now come to the next, linking CSR to the financial performance. What is that? Research indicates there's a positive correlation between the robust CSR practice and enhanced financial performance. Companies that prioritize CSR often see increased brand loyalty, reduce risk, and improve operational efficiency, ultimately leading to the better financial outcomes and the stakeholder values. Now come to the last but not least, challenges in the measurement. And what is that? Despite of the benefit, measuring the impact of the CSR on the financial performance poses several challenges. These include the data availability attributes, as you know, issues, and the subjective nature of the some matrices. Addressing these challenges is vital for the obtaining reliable insight into the effectiveness of the CSR initiatives. Now, I want to conclude as the time is essence here. Want to conclude and the future direction. Want to that is in conclusion. Understanding the nexus between the CSR and the financial performance is essential for the modern business. Continued research and improvement in measurement techniques will enhance our ability to evaluate CSR impact, driving more companies to adopt responsible practice that benefit both society and their bottom line. Thank you. Jai Sharma, Agarwal
Thank-
College, Ballabgarh, Faridabad. Thank you,
Thank-
ma'am. Thank you, Rupali, ma'am.
Thank you, Jay Sharma, ma'am.
Thank you. Conera,
Assistant
India.
Professor Agarwal College of Education, Ballabgarh,
Yes.
Faridabad, Haryana. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Question answer session will be in the end.
Yes,
No.
ma'am. Okay, I will be ready for that.
The next participant, Preeti Menon, Research Scholar, Department of Education, University of Delhi, New Delhi, India.
Ma'am, meanwhile, Vasundhara ma'am is ready.
Achha. Okay.
Megha ma'am, will you share her PPT?
Good evening, all of you. Dr. Pooja ma'am, Leena ma'am, Rupali ma'am, sabhi ko good evening. My topic is an analytical case study, developing quality-based teacher, presented by myself. Dr. Vasundhara Kumari, Assistant Professor, Gautam Buddha Teachers Training College, Hazaribagh, Jharkhand. Ma'am, next page, ma'am, please. Ma'am, next page, please. I want to skip this page, ma'am. Abstract. It will be takes more time. That's why. Okay, ma'am. I have written my review of literature, which is defining quality in teacher. And second, okay, ma'am, objective to identify key characteristic of quality-based teachers. And second one is to analyze the effectiveness of professional development program focused on enhancing these characteristics. Third one is to assess the impact of reflective practices on teaching quality. Methodology, questionnaire method, classroom observation, and reflective journals.
Next PPT, ma'am.
Yes. यस मैम, यहाँ पे मैं जो फाइंडिंग को मैं फोकस करना चाहूंगी, फाइंडिंग की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ क्वालिटी बेस्ड टीचर। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, सब्जेक्ट मैटर एक्सपर्टीज। जो टीचर्स होते हैं उनको अपने सब्जेक्ट मैटर पे एक्सपर्ट होना ही चाहिए होता है। जो अभी जितने भी मॉडर्न टीचर हैं वो एक जॉब पर्पज से ही टीचर ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, और जॉब के बाद वो जनरली फॉरगेट हो कर लेते हैं कि हमारा जो जिस पर्पज से मैं टीचर बनी हूँ वो भूल जाते हैं एक्चुअली। तो जो भी टीचर्स हैं उनको डीप अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट मैटर एंड करिकुलम पे होनी चाहिए, जो वो जॉब के बाद भूल जाते हैं। ये क्वालिटी एक टीचर में होनी चाहिए मैम। सेकेंड नंबर में पैडागोजिकल स्किल्स, एबिलिटी टू एम्प्लॉय डाइवर्स टीचिंग स्ट्रेटेजी, टॉलरेट टू स्टूडेंट नीड्स। जो स्टूडेंट का नीड है उसके आधार पे टीचिंग होनी चाहिए, ना कि इसमें मैं एक वर्ड बोलना चाहती हूँ कि स्टूडेंट इज नॉट अ बैंक। हम जब क्लासरूम जाते हैं तो मैं जितना चाहूँ वो अपने बोल के निकल जाऊं, ये कभी नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि स्टूडेंट एक बैंक है जब मैं जितना चाहूँ वो इन्वेस्ट उसमें कर दूं। सो हम लोग को एक जरूर समझना चाहिए कि स्टूडेंट का नीड क्या है, वो कहाँ पे वीक है। इफेक्टिवनेस, ओके मैम। थर्ड नंबर जो फाइंडिंग हमारा है वो रिफ्लेक्टिव प्रैक्टिसेस है, कमिटमेंट टू कंटिन्यूअस सेल्फ इवैल्यूएशन एंड इम्प्रूवमेंट। हमको खुद हम लोगों को खुद भी इवैल्यूएट करना चाहिए कि जो मैं पढ़ा रही हूँ क्लासरूम में वो कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है, वो सिलेबस और करिकुलम पे आधारित है या नहीं है, या हम सेटिस्फाई सिर्फ हो रहे हैं जो भी क्लासरूम में हम पढ़ा रहे हैं, बच्चे उसको कितना कैच कर पा रहे हैं, या कैच करने के लिए हम कौन से मेथडोलॉजी या डेटा या इक्विपमेंट्स को यूज कर रहे हैं जिससे बच्चे अच्छे से अच्छे सीख पाए और हमारा असेसमेंट का रिजल्ट -0.1 में आ जाए एटलीस्ट। फोर्थ वन, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस। इमोशनली हम लोग को इतना इंटेलिजेंस हमारे अंदर होना चाहिए कि बच्चे के साथ एक क्लासरूम में एक डीप रिलेशनशिप होना चाहिए। क्लासरूम के बाहर हम जितना गैप रखेंगे स्टूडेंट के साथ वो हमारे लिए उतना अच्छा होता है, लेकिन क्लासरूम के अंदर इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस हम लोग में होना ही चाहिए। ability to connect with student and create a supportive learning environment. Next, ma'am, please. Effectiveness of professional development program. Increase teacher confidence. Survey indicated 30% increase in teachers self-effective effective in delivering lesson. सेकेंड, इनहेंस्ड स्टूडेंट एंगेजमेंट। स्टूडेंट को हम लोग इतना एंगेज रखें जो उनका सारा कंसंट्रेशन जो चीज सीखना है जिसके लिए क्लासरूम में वो आए हैं और एडमिशन लिए हैं या पढ़ा रहे हैं उस पे जाए। क्लासरूम ऑब्जर्वेशन हाईलाइटेड अ शिफ्ट टूवर्ड्स मोर इंटरैक्टिव एंड पार्टिसिपेटरी टीचिंग मेथड्स। एंड थर्ड वन, इम्प्रूव्ड लर्निंग आउटकम। स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड टेस्ट स्कोर showed a noticeable improvement in students' performance in participating classroom. Impact of reflective practices, इसमें दो है मैम। ग्रेटर अवेयरनेस, रिफ्लेक्टिव प्रैक्टिसेस allow teachers to recognize area for improvement and adjust their method accordingly. And second one, peer collaboration. Journals fostered a culture of sharing experience and a strategy among teachers leading to collaborate problem solving. Next, ma'am, please. And last conclusion, the case study illustrates the developing quality-based teacher requires a multi-phased approaches in incorporating professional development, reflective practice, and focus on student-centered learning. The finding emphasizes the importance of ongoing support for teachers, encouraging them to engage in reflective practices that not only enhance their technical skills but also positively impact the student learning outcomes. Thank you very much to all of you. Thank you so much to giving me such kind of opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Preeti Madam, now our next paper presenter is Preeti Menon, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. I'll share. Am I audible?
Yes, madam, you are audible. Preeti
Okay.
Madam, Research Scholar, Department of Education, University of Delhi, New Delhi, India. Topic of the paper is Assessment in Early Childhood on Integrating Visual Arts. Ma'am, share your PPT.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I hope it's visible, ma'am.
Yes, it's visible.
Is it visible? Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is very much visible. You can
Okay,
carry
thank
on.
you. Okay, thank you. So good evening, everyone. I'm Preeti Menon, and the topic is Assessment in Early Childhood, Integrating Visual Arts. So as we all know, NCF for Early Childhood Care Education in India emphasizes on the importance of holistic development in young children, including cognitive, emotional, social, and physical growth. So visual arts play a crucial role in this framework. NEP also talks about including art integration studies is talked about not only for early education but for all classes. Here I am particularly focusing on early childhood education. So research on using visual arts for assessing young learners is crucial for various reasons, as it addresses gaps in traditional assessment methods and offers unique insights into early childhood development. So through visual arts, different skills of the child can be enhanced, like motor skills, emotional state, problem solving abilities, and conceptual understanding as well. So the literature also overwhelmingly supports the importance of assessment in early childhood education, particularly when assessments are developmentally appropriate, culturally responsive, and focused on supporting the whole child. So while traditional assessment methods have their place, the literature advocates for a broader, more inclusive approach that integrates continuous formative assessments and recognizes the diverse needs and strengths of young learners. So for future researchers also, we should continue to explore innovative assessment practices that can better capture the complexities of early childhood developments and support educators in creating more effective and nurturing learning environments. So these different studies was referred to for developmental milestones and readiness. Like according to Pianta and McCoy, early assessments help.
Read all the reviews. You just
Okay.
explain your own words, please.
Okay, ma'am. So these different studies emphasize.
Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So emphasize that assessment should not only focus upon like cognitive abilities, it should focus on different aspects of an individual as a whole. Like understanding the whole child should be the crux of assessment. So it should be holistic, integrating all the aspects of a child development rather than just talking about cognitive abilities, assessments should focus on the complete holistic development of the child. And there are various challenges and criticisms of traditional assessment methods as well. So these criticisms say that assessments which are presently happening fail to capture the full range of child's abilities. So it can lead to inappropriate educational decisions. So there should be play-based and authentic assessment approaches. They are referred to as more authentic as compared to the traditional testing methods. So what are the objectives for the study? To evaluate the effectiveness of visual arts as an assessment tool, to identify the key developmental indicators which are revealed through visual arts, and to explore the role of visual arts in enhancing child engagement during assessment. To examine the role of visual arts and to investigate how visual arts can accommodate diverse learners. So
Miss
what's the
Preeti, are you
methodology?
able to hear me? Hello,
Hello.
Miss Preeti. First of all, keep your camera on and please come to the slide which is concluding or
Okay.
giving some results. Because you must be knowing that this is one of the criterias for best paper, that you should stick to the time. That is 5 minutes, and
Okay.
that is already over. Please
Okay.
conclude.
Okay. So this is an action research conducted by the teacher or researcher on a group of 40 students. So the tools which are used are activities, anecdotes, students' reflections, and teacher observations. These are the different things which are observed, that through visual arts, children express their emotions. Children were, for an activity, children were asked to draw how they felt about starting school. Some children used bright colors and different drawings to indicate their happiness, because young children express more through different artistic ways because they don't have words at this age. The study was conducted on the students between 4 to 5 years of age, but they cannot express so much in writing and speaking as well if they don't have that much well developed vocabulary. So the teacher realized that the children which are using darker colors, they were more reserved, they spoke less. So in this way, the teacher got to know that which children need attention in which kinds of areas, domains. Self-reflection also, children were asked to draw a self-portrait, and one child drew himself like big ears, big smile. So the child feels that he is good in listening and is a very happy person. So this also shows the teacher about the self-reflection of the students. Language. So children were asked to draw the weekend activities and then explain them. One child drew a complex scene and described it very well. Another child drew a simple picture but was not able to express it very well. So the teacher this way gets to know that which area, which developmental area needs to be focused on which child.
Okay, ma'am.
Motor skills development. Similarly, different activities related to motor skills were also used, and this helped teacher to realize that which children are using complex cutting skills, they are pasting it, fine motor and gross motor skills are developed or not. For cultural awareness also, through drawings and discussions, picture talks, children were motivated and encouraged to talk about the different culture and celebrations in different cultures.
Please wind up.
Yes, ma'am. So these examples illustrate how visual arts can be a powerful tool for assessing various aspects. So that's it. Thank you.
Before going ahead with the presentation, I should be asking you, all the participants, that they should be keeping their cameras on. That is one of the criteria, and other criteria is that you should be keeping your presentation till 5 minutes. Otherwise, your paper will not be considered for best paper award. You want to be there in that category, please take care of that. Next, we will be having presentation of ma'am Rupali ma'am. Dr. Anjali.
Rupali ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Jyoti. Dr. Jyoti.
Yes, ma'am.
Please share your PPT. Please, ma'am, keep your presentation for 5 minutes only. Thank you.
Ma'am, my PPT is visible. Rupali ma'am, my PPT is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is visible.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good evening to one and all present here. Myself, Dr. Jyoti Bejal from Prayagraj. The title of my paper is Competency Modeling, an Approach to Assessment of 21st Century Skills. In the present scenario, as the NEP 2020 is in the implementation phase, it becomes very pertinent that our students, whether it at all levels of education, they need to have skills amongst them, which at present it is felt they are lacking. Just the book study, the book education is going on, or the book examinations are going on. So it becomes very pertinent to see that whether our system is developing the necessary skills, whether our system is preparing them for the life in the adult life that they'll be taking up in different roles at the job level. So assessment of those skills, whether our system is developing those skills in them, and how do we assess them. I'm talking about this in my paper. And in the current scenario, even the UNESCO talks about the development of 21st century skills. The 21st century skills, I believe it's been going on in India from the ancient times. The competencies that are being talked about are the critical thinking, the problem solving, communication, collaboration, creativity, and in the modern technological age, one more competency has come up, and that is the digital literacy and a global perspective in a student. Now, what is competency modeling? I talk about here this. It is basically competency-based assessments typically involve identifying the key competencies that are required for a particular job. And the competencies I just now mentioned, I talked about, but are the ones that are required when a student enters an employment. These are the very basic things that takes him ahead in the new roles that he encounters. So now what are the objective of my paper was, it's basically a qualitative paper, and I'll just in brief, I'll tell about the objectives. It was to study the need and importance of assessment of 21st century skills, to find out the different ways of assessing it, to explore the competency modeling as an approach to assessment of skills in the field of education, to study the various techniques and strategies of assessment. So why I'm talking about it, of competency modeling in the sphere of education is that this approach first saw its birth with regard to the industrial setup. It was talked about in 1970s by McClelland. Later on, it was adopted in the field of education as well. By a brief what it is. The methodology that I employed was, it was a secondary research which involved reviewing existing material, existing studies, literature reviews on existing studies that have been done, some books, articles, and online resources, and my indirect observation also. And what I found out was, I'll just talk about the tools that can be employed to assess competency modeling. I believe that slide is missing here, but I have mentioned in my paper. So the tools, it's basically the self-assessment questionnaires. A student should be given opportunities to self-assess them. Some questionnaires should be given to them, and in particular situations, how they assess themselves, this can be employed as a method. Then 360-degree feedback surveys, they are very important because they will let the student him or herself know how to make improvements in her or his skills, how much, what level he has achieved and where he has to go. These 360-degree feedback surveys, they prove very helpful. Then skill tests. Skill tests across so many domains of the streams of education that students take, in humanities also, in sciences and commerce, everywhere skill tests can be performed. Like, for example, I would say communication skills. It's communication, we can give them umpteen number of opportunities to may have discussions, to give some topics or issues which are debatable. So we can plan debating activities where we can see their skills, how they form the logic in themselves. Then it's the behavioral interviews, simulations can be used, then competency proficiency scales can be used, and then job analysis. Like, since this job analysis, it has been taken from the business world, where in the industrial world, I correct myself, but how can we apply it in the field of education is, we can give children small tasks, and when after the task has been accomplished, then we can make them write the task that had been given to them, to analyze how they first looked up to it, what process they underwent while undertaking and solving the task, and how they reached the conclusion or they found a solution to that particular problem, or how they came out from the situation.
Please wind up.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So this competency modeling, it has numerous benefits. I'll just go on to my last slide, talking about the benefits. It improves clarity and transparency, personalized learning, that exemplifies a shift towards a culture of holistic assessment, and then students better understand their own learning profile, which is the need of the hour at present. With all this, I end up my presentation. Thank you to all for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Jyoti Bejal, ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kanna Girls Degree College.
Yes.
Now, our next paper presenter, Naida Beg, ma'am. Are you ready, ma'am, with presentation?
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Madam, please share your video.
Ma'am, my video is already on. I hope you can see it.
No, we cannot see you.
You are not visible, Nahida.
My video is on.
Your screen is visible, but you are not visible.
Now?
It's covered with something.
So carry on.
Okay, good morning, good evening, everyone, the fellow conveyor, and all the participants. My name is Nahida Beg. I'm presenting from KR Mangalam University, Sona Road, Haryana. My topic is quality education for holistic learning. So when we talk about holistic learning, so it is an educational approach where we involve the whole person, including their mind, body, and spirit. Due to the time constraint, I would like to, brief the overall structure of it in skeletal part, because I don't want to go in depth. So I will be using the whole skeletal part of my presentation. It is it is actually based on the idea of bringing a person to connection where we are interconnected to each other, and that the learning which is truly effective for the learners when all the dimensions are addressed properly. So there are some characteristics of the holistic learning where we are connecting with nature, we are considering the whole child, we are creating a positive school environment, we are working on the teaching critical thinking, we are giving a proper teacher training so that, a child should achieve each and everything in a proper way. Now, if we are talking about the quality teaching, quality education, it's all about the inclusive provides which equal opportunities and focuses on the whole child. It's a dynamic concept that's guaranteed by international and domestic law, and which is essential for self-respect, prosperity, and contribution of a healthy society. So the characteristics which I would really want to showcase you for the quality education are the accessibility, which is one of the main important element, inclusivity, relevance, teacher quality, and the learning environment. So based on these parameters, we just 1 minute. I would like to. Okay. So these are the assessments, teaching methodologies where we are focused on the student-centered approaches, whether every child is getting a equal opportunity and participation for the learning experiences, collaborative learning, and inquiry-based learning. Nowadays, we are not giving that opportunity to the children if a child, whether it's approaching or not properly. But moreover, we should focus on the inquiry-based question that the child should be curious to learn what is happening in and around. So inquiry-based learning, it's going to reflect on the critical thinking skills where the child curiosity helps them to learn more and more things. If a question is being bombarded from the child's end, how it's going to reflect on our lesson plan. Because as what we learn, what we have seen, the experiences, the experiments we have done, the evaluation, what we were doing, we came across to a solution that every child is different, and as per the child the strength, the capacity, we keep on we cannot plan our lesson plan. So we have to maintain that average lesson plan, and based on that we are going to evaluate that. So the assessment is a very important part to improve our teaching skill also, and for the child progress also. So assessment can be done on a formative and summative way. Formative way is like a continuation evaluation which we do on our daily practices, where we can do quizzes, where we do lot of debates, discussion, in-house competition, we keeps on the group discussion activity. There are so many parameters. And the summative assessment which we do on a weekly basis. But moreover that, instead of doing on a regular basis, we pretend to have on a weekly basis so that we can understand the weekly extraction of the child, whether the child able to learn or not. On the basis of that, when we try to modify our lesson plan, which really help us to in future planning and the future teaching. Next is we have to really work on the teacher professional development and the policies, because these are the parameters where if we have started working on it, then definitely we can achieve our goal. Then community and parental engagement, every child is different. A parent has to accept that and based on the community, we have to understand that we cannot bias children as per the performance. Every child is different and unique in their own methods. I want to show the methodology of the Haiti, where they have given the research paper which employs the qualitative approach to explore the multifaceted dimension of assessment and evaluation and education. So they have existing review where they have worked on the existing literature, including scholarly articles, books, and reports on assessment practices. This analysis was conducted through thematic synthesis and comparative analysis to derive insights into the effectiveness of assessment methodologies. Coming to the conclusion, quality education embraces holistic learning and it is multifaceted endeavor, addressing the diverse needs of learners and equipping them for the interests of the modern world. And by fostering cognitive, emotional, social, and physical development, holistic learning nurtures well-rounded individuals poised to make positive contributions to the society. And these are the few references which I have used while making my paper. Thank you so much for giving your time. I hope I have completed my PPT in the given stipulated time.
Yes, you have taken care of time and you have completed your PPT. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Next participant is Dr. Anita Yadav. Next paper presenter, Dr. Anita Yadav.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I am audible.
You are audible, but share your video.
Okay.
Okay. Now share your presentation. Will you be able to share your presentation?
मैम मैं यहाँ से मेरे शेयर नहीं हो पा रही, आपकी वहाँ से हो
ठीक है,
जाएगी मैम?
ठीक है, ठीक है. Let's see.
Meanwhile, Pallavi ma'am.
Ma'am, is it
Rupali ma'am,
visible? Is it visible? PPT is visible?
No, ma'am.
Not visible.
अनीता मैम, आप ट्रैक 2.3 में अपना पीपीटी भेज सकती हैं व्हाट्सएप में?
एक मिनट मैम, एक मिनट.
meanwhile, next participant can be there.
Next participant. Madam. Pallavi ma'am is there. Dr. Pallavi ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You are the co-host, Dr. Pallavi ma'am. You may share your PPT and on your video.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Is the picture on?
Dr. Pallavi, you must have logged in from 2 devices. Please mute one because it is echoing. Your voice is echoing.
Am I audible?
Ma'am, you are audible, but the voice is echoing.
मैम दूसरा डिवाइस जो है वो दूर कर दीजिए. And please start. We are running short of time.
Time. Pallavi ma'am, please start.
Ma'am, I've already started, but I don't know what is the problem. Just a second.
Ma'am, Anita ma'am's PPT is ready.
We can move on.
We can proceed to that. Pallavi ma'am, please wait for a while.
Okay.
Our next paper presenter, Dr. Anita Yadav, Assistant Professor, SSG Parik, PG College of Education, Jaipur, Rajasthan, India. Topic of the paper is महामारी के दौरान ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के प्रति अध्ययनकर्ता एवं विद्यार्थियों के दृष्टिकोण का अध्ययन. यस मैम, डॉक्टर अनीता मैम.
ओके मैम, सभी को नमस्कार मैम. मेरा टॉपिक है कोविड महामारी के दौरान ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के प्रति शिक्षकों एवं विद्यार्थियों के दृष्टिकोण का अध्ययन. मैम सेकंड स्लाइड. इसमें मैम प्रस्तावना है कि इसमें तनिक भी संदेह नहीं कि जब कोविड महामारी शुरू हुआ था, दुनिया में सभी जगह ये महामारी फैली हुई थी. उस दौरान सारे शिक्षण संस्थान बंद हो चुके थे और एक शिक्षा के माध्यम ऑनलाइन ही बचा हुआ, जिसके द्वारा बच्चे घर बैठ के शिक्षा प्राप्त कर सकते थे. इसमें तनिक भी संदेह नहीं कि ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म शिक्षण आधारित को प्रभावशाली बनाकर इसके प्रचार प्रसार में बढ़ती भूमिका निभाई. ऑनलाइन माध्यम से विद्यार्थी इंटरनेट, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक उपकरण जैसे कि कंप्यूटर, लैपटॉप, रेडियो, स्मार्टफोन आदि के माध्यम से घर बैठ के अपनी शिक्षा प्राप्त कर सकते थे. मशीन लर्निंग, संचार, ई शिक्षा के माध्यम से इन्हें बढ़ावा मिल रहा था. महामारी के कारण हर जगह हर संस्थाएं और शिक्षण संस्थाएं बंद थी. 1 साल के लगभग से अधिक समय तक सभी शिक्षण संस्थाएं बंद रही. इनमें से सिर्फ ऑनलाइन ही एक ऐसा माध्यम था जिससे विद्यार्थी अपने शिक्षण कार्य को सुचारू रूप से चालू कर सकते थे और अपने शिक्षण को आगे बढ़ा सकते थे. मैम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. संबंधित साहित्य में मैंने अपने इस शोध के लिए बहुत सी पत्रिकाएं और रिसर्च पेपर पढ़े, जिनके माध्यम से मैंने 2 रिसर्च पेपर इसमें डाले हैं कि विजयलक्ष्मी दास द्वारा 2020 में अपने अध्ययन में पाया कि ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से पारदर्शिता, आमने सामने के संपर्क तथा अंतः क्रिया को बढ़ावा बनाने में सहायता मिल सकती है. दूसरा है अरोड़ा एम श्रीनिवास 2020 में अपने अध्ययन में पाया कि नेटवर्क समस्या, प्रशिक्षण का अभाव एवं वर्चुअल कक्षाओं के प्रति जागरूकता की कमी इसमें मुख्य मुद्दे हैं, क्योंकि विद्यार्थियों की उपस्थिति बहुत कम रहती है. व्यक्तिगत लगाव की कमी, कनेक्टिविटी के कारण ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में ऑनलाइन शिक्षा सक्सेस नहीं हो सकती और अंतःक्रिया की कमी के माध्यम भी पाई गई. मैम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. अध्ययन के उद्देश्य. उच्च माध्यमिक स्तर के विद्यालय के विद्यार्थियों के ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के प्रति दृष्टिकोण का अध्ययन करना है. दूसरा मेरा उद्देश्य है उच्च माध्यमिक स्तर के विद्यालय के अध्यापकों का ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के प्रति दृष्टिकोण का अध्ययन करना. मैम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. शोध की परिकल्पनाएं. उच्च माध्यमिक स्तर के विद्यालय की विद्यार्थियों की ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के प्रति दृष्टिकोण में सार्थक अंतर नहीं पाया जाता. उच्च माध्यमिक स्तर की विद्यालय के अध्यापकों का ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के प्रति दृष्टिकोण में सार्थक अंतर नहीं पाया जाता. मेरे जो शोध के उपकरण है स्वनिर्मित उपकरण है, जिसमें मैंने नेक्स्ट में ऑनलाइन शिक्षा क्या है. ऑनलाइन शिक्षा अथवा ई लर्निंग, ऑनलाइन शिक्षा से तात्पर्य है कि अपने स्थान पर बैठकर इंटरनेट व अन्य संचार के माध्यमों के उपकरणों की सहायता से शिक्षा को प्राप्त की जा सकती है. ऑनलाइन शिक्षा छात्रों को शिक्षा प्रदान करने के लिए प्रौद्योगिकी का उपयोग करना सिखाती है. ई लर्निंग के विभिन्न रूप हैं, जैसे वेब आधारित शिक्षा, मोबाइल आधारित शिक्षा या कंप्यूटर आधारित शिक्षा और वर्चुअल क्लासरूम इत्यादि. ऑनलाइन शिक्षा छात्रों को शिक्षा प्रदान कर प्रौद्योगिकी का उपयोग कर सकता है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड मैम. इसमें जो मैंने टूल्स काम में लिया वो मेरा स्वनिर्मित है, जिसमें मैंने प्रश्न बनाए विद्यार्थी और शिक्षकों के लिए. पहला क्वेश्चन है कि शिक्षा की क्या ऑनलाइन शिक्षा से आपको सीखने के प्रयोग एवं आधारित ज्ञान तुरंत प्राप्त हो रहा है. दूसरा क्वेश्चन है क्या ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के कारण आपको प्रयोगात्मक शिक्षण के माध्यम से आधारित ज्ञान पूर्णतः प्राप्त कर सकते हो और अपनी समस्याओं का समाधान हो रहा है. तीसरा क्वेश्चन है क्या ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के माध्यम से अपनी समस्याओं के समाधान को पूर्णतः प्राप्त कर सकते हो। क्या ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के समय आपने सामने की जो अंतः क्रिया है वो हो सकती है और आपकी जो पाठ्य सामग्री है वो स्पष्ट हो पाती है या नहीं हो पाती?
अनीता मैम आप आगे बढ़िए, ये ठीक है आपका टूल, आप आगे बढ़िए।
ओके मैम। मैम, प्रदत्तों का वर्गीकरण और विश्लेषण जो मैंने अपने स्वनिर्मित टूल बनाया था, ये 50 शिक्षकों तथा 50 विद्यार्थियों पर अप्लाई किया गया था, जिसमें से उच्च माध्यमिक स्तर के विद्यार्थियों के दृष्टिकोण में कोई सार्थक अंतर नहीं पाया गया, क्योंकि उच्च माध्यमिक स्तर के सरकारी और गैर सरकारी विद्यार्थियों के प्रति जो डाटा मैंने टी परीक्षण के द्वारा निकाला उसमें 1.74% प्राप्त हुआ, जो तालिका के मान से कम था। इसलिए जो फर्स्ट परिकल्पना है वो स्वीकृत की जाती है। सेकंड है कि उच्च माध्यमिक स्तर की विद्यालय के अध्यापकों का ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के प्रति कोई सार्थक अंतर नहीं पाया जाता, जिसकी व्याख्या और विश्लेषण करने के द्वारा टी परीक्षण के माध्यम से ये प्राप्त हुआ कि 1.48% प्राप्त हुआ, जो कि तालिका के मान से कम है, अतः ये भी परिकल्पना स्वीकृत की जाती है।
मैम
इसके
आप
बाद में
अपने कंक्लूजन्स पे आगे जाइए, क्या
मैम
शोध के
मैम
शैक्षिक नहीं आ रहा?
कंक्लूजन। ओके मैम। मैम, वर्तमान समय में अगर हम देखें तो प्रौद्योगिकी का समय, इस समय कंप्यूटर विद्यार्थियों और शिक्षकों के लिए कि इस समय कंप्यूटर व इंटरनेट की शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में उपयोग बढ़ता जा रहा है। प्रत्येक शैक्षिक गतिविधि के लिए विद्यार्थी कंप्यूटर पर निर्भर होता जा रहा है। वर्तमान समय में शिक्षा कंप्यूटर से अलग कर दिया जाए तो शिक्षा का कार्य अत्यंत कठिन हो जाएगा। इंटरनेट से इन्हीं लाभों के कारण इसका प्रयोग के प्रति विद्यार्थियों का रुझान बढ़ रहा है। इसी प्रकार अगर हम शिक्षकों की बात करें तो शिक्षक भी अपने शिक्षण कार्य में अधिक से अधिक अगर कंप्यूटर का उपयोग कर और शिक्षण प्रौद्योगिकी का उपयोग किया जाए तो शिक्षा में अधिक बढ़ावा मिल सकता है। मैम, इसकी कंक्लूजन ये निकल के आता है कि अगर ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों की हम बात करें तो वहां पर शिक्षा के लिए कि जो साधन उपलब्ध होते हैं उनमें से कई परिवार ऐसे जिनके पास की मोबाइल या इंटरनेट की सुविधाएं नहीं हो पाती, तो वहां पर हम इसका उपयोग नहीं कर पाते। भावी सुझाव के लिए ये बता सकते हैं कि हाँ, कि ऑनलाइन शिक्षा के प्रति अगर हम ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों के अंदर भी इसको बढ़ावा दें तो ये भावी सुझाव हो सकता है। दूसरा है कि सरकार के द्वारा भी इस पर पहल की जानी चाहिए कि वहां पर भी जो सरकारी स्कूल है वहां पर प्रयोगशालाएं, कंप्यूटर लैब या ऐसी प्रयोगशालाएं बनाई जाए जो गरीब बच्चे हैं वो अपने उपयोग में ला सके। दूसरा होता है कि शिक्षकों को भी ट्रेनिंग दी जाए, जिससे कि वो अपने जब टीचर से अगर ट्रेन हो जाएंगे तो विद्यार्थियों को अच्छे से अच्छे वो कंप्यूटर के बारे में बता पाएंगे और कैसे अपने शिक्षण में अपनी समस्याओं का समाधान इंटरनेट या ई लर्निंग के माध्यम से कर सकते हैं। क्योंकि वर्तमान जो समय है मैम, ये प्रौद्योगिकी का समय है और हर चीज हमें ऑनलाइन उपलब्ध होती है, तो इससे विद्यार्थी अपनी समस्याओं का घर बैठकर भी समस्याओं का समाधान कर सकते हैं और अपने ज्ञान को बढ़ा सकते हैं।
थैंक यू मैम।
थैंक यू मैम, जो आपने मुझे टाइम दिया।
पल्लवी मैम, आर यू रेडी?
Yes,
डॉक्टर
ma'am,
पल्लवी,
I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. Am I
try to
audible?
press. Yes, you
Yeah.
are audible. Share your screen.
Yes.
Open your camera as well.
Good evening, everyone. So the topic of my today's presentation is enhancing higher education quality through
Excuse me, ma'am.
student feedback.
Share
Yes.
yourself also. Your video is not on. We can't see you. Yes. Now carry on.
Okay. So enhancing higher education quality through student feedback. And this is a critical study on academic excellence and student engagement. So this is a case study which has been taken up in three different institutes, whereby feedback being an integral part of teaching and learning is considered, taking the base of UGC, AICTE, and NAC and NBA, where the feedback where we can have quality improvement in teaching and learning. So the 4 categories of feedback that are identified by Hattie and Timpley were emphasized on the task, the progress, and self-regulation and the individual for conducting the feedback. The contemporary feedback practices that were done were based on relevance of the content in the job, adequacy and currency of content, faculty teaching skill and knowledge, academic management, examination, overall rating of the level of satisfaction from the program, and overall rating of the program. Based on this, the review was collected the review was collected on the topics like theoretical underpinning of student feedback, the need of student feedback in higher education, feedback mechanisms and best practices, problems in implementing feedback systems, the impact of feedback on educational quality, and the feedback in Indian higher education system.
Ma'am, we are running short of time. So
yes,
please.
Yes, ma'am. So the case study method was adopted, and this were my objectives: to examine the role of student feedback in enhancing quality of teaching and learning, to analyze the effectiveness of feedback mechanism, and to identify the challenges and best practices in the implementation. Therefore, the feedbacks were collected from HODs, HOIs, academic directors, and the senior teachers as well. Regarding teaching and learning, mainly the criteria were regularity, communication, evidence, technology, use of technology, and punctuality of the teachers in the class. So 3 colleges, as I told you, this was the feedback which was collected from different stakeholders of the institutes. And this is what we have got the results for the same. So generally it was found that very less use of technology was used by the teachers. Therefore, the discussion was like the curriculum and pedagogy were reoriented to follow the expectation of the students and the industry. Many students believe that most of the lecturers in the Faculty of Arts and Social Work were average in performance and were not using any technology for delivering the content. The identification of the areas in need of development within the institution was aimed at increasing the use of ICT. Secondly, those teachers were identified where actually the improvement was needed, and the special training FDPs were conducted for those teachers. So this article suggests that the success of feedback system in higher education hinges on creating a culture where feedback is not only collected but also valued and integrated into decision-making process. So this feedback collected was taken up into decision-making process for the betterment and for the quality assurance, for improving the quality in the institution. Therefore, this study and discussion is bound to establish the fact that student feedback is one of the most useful instruments of improving the process of quality in higher education. The case clearly seems to point out how systematic feedback processes in themselves induce significant changes in teaching, learning, and institutional practices. So overcoming the challenges of implementation in higher education systems, the learning environment of the institution can be developed or can be improved and can be student-centered with the help of feedback system. So for improvement in any of the institution, the feedback system can work like a magic. And this is what the study talks about. So thank you so much, all of you. So thank you so much, conveners and Rupa ma'am, for bearing me for many of the requests. So thank you so much. This is what my presentation was. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So now here we have 8 paper presenters. Now I think 9th and 10th Kevika Bali, they have not appeared still. So we move to further. We eagerly await insights and reflections on the proceeding of this session. May I invite Dr. Dangwal Madam for the closing remarks?
Thank you, Rupali ma'am. So as we come to the conclusion of track 2.3, assessment and evaluation. So first of all, I would like to take a moment to reflect on the insightful discussions and presentations we have seen today. So overall, it was enriching experience to hear from the diverse array of the participants who have shared their research findings, innovative practices, and many other things. Few suggestions just I would like to give to the participants that even your content was very good, but the presentation which you have shown on the slides should also be very precise and to the point only, not very lengthy text. So keep in your mind whenever you are presenting your content in future, because the meaning of PowerPoint is itself to show your points powerfully with the help of this particular digital tool. So the presentations we have heard today have illuminated various aspects of assessment and evaluation, and few presentations that slides were really very good. But still, we need to connect all the aspects of means introduction part and then methodology and then whatever conclusion was there. So each paper has contributed to our understanding of how assessment can evolve to better meet to the need of 21st century learners, fostering creativity, critical thinking, especially when Juyal madam was talking about the alternative assessment and other few things which were said by the few participants. I think she was Jyoti madam, who talked about the contemporary modeling, an approach to the assessment of 21st century learning skills. So I have seen that many of you have presented a very innovative ideas about the assessment and many other things. So overall, here I would like to express my sincere gratitude to each presenter for their rigorous research and for sharing their valuable insights. Your dedication and passion for improving educational practices are truly commendable. So my congratulations to each presenter. You have done very good effort, and in the way you have discussed about your content. And one thing more I would like to suggest, that never try to read the slides. Otherwise, everything spoiled, whatever you are doing, means you need to say each and everything on your own words. So here, overall, it was very good. And once again, I thank you everyone, all the participants, all the contributors, and all the organizers, those who have, especially Rupali ma'am, who has organized and who has spelled out all the names, and she has managed each and everything. So thank you everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all in future endeavors aimed at the enhancing education for all. Thank you, and my best wishes to everyone present here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rangwal ma'am, for your insightful closing remarks. Your words have provided us with a profound perspective on the significance of this session. Please accept Ma'am, please accept this token of gratitude from the organizers of the conference, this virtual memento. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. And thank you for this memento. Thank you.
We are indeed gaining a wealth of knowledge today. May I invite Sir Mam Samin, Faculty of English, Southeastern University of Sri Lanka, to summarize the session and address the participants.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. I have a very bad voice today. Anyway, I'll try to manage that. Dear Chairperson, Professor Rupali Bai, and Professor Kiran Late Dangwal, who is the chairperson of this, Reena Madam, and Dr. Pooja Verma, Track 2 Coordinator and Conference Judge Secretary, esteemed presenters, honorable participants, researchers, my dear colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it's a great honor to chair or co-chair the second international e-conference organized by CTPD in collaboration with the K.R. Mangalam University and other institutions under the theme of educational reform and advancement. This package 2.3 is on assessment and evaluation. In today's rapidly evaluating educational landscape, assessment and evaluation play a vital role in ensuring the quality of learning and teaching. Our chairperson, Dr. Kiran Lete, Madam, spoken about alternative assessment method. It was very insightful. There were around 8 paper presentations here. All 8 presentations were outstanding, as Madam said. Due to the time limit, I cannot summarize all 10% or 8 presentations. I would like to make few comments and few paper summaries then about this conference. This first paper by Dr. Meha Jual on alternative assessments. He was comparing the alternative methods and traditional assessment and different types of alternative methods. Her explanation on portfolio was very much interesting. Portfolio is one of the best alternative assessment method. Actually, now I have authored and now we have published a manual. I can send you the the soft copy. The organizers, you can share it among the participants. It must be useful. A second paper by Jaya Sharma, an assessment of measurement method of the relationship between corporate social responsibility and financial performance. The third paper presentation by Basundar, paper title, An Analytical Study on Make Quality-Based Teacher. She was talking about characteristics of quality-based teacher, subject matters, and pedagogical skills. Then she was talking about the effectiveness of the professional development program and impact of reflective practices. Next presentation by Preeti Menon, exploring the possibilities of strengthening the role of IKS in fostering creativity and social innovations among Indian youth by building a vivid path for. She was talking on a few topics like assessment as a tool for promoting holistic development, understanding the whole child, and challenges and criticism of traditional assessment method. Next presentation by Jyoti Bachal, competency modeling and approach assessment 21st century learning skills was very, very interesting. Now, she was talking about the self-assessment as a method and 360-degree feedback survey and skills test and competency modeling. Next presentation by Nadia Beg, quality education for holistic learning. Then she was talking about the type of assessment, diagnostic and formative and summative assessment, the student-centered inquiry learning. She presented the holistic learning model and concluded that quality education that embraces holistic learning is a multifaceted endeavor. Dr. Anita, next presentation by Dr. Anita, but really, since it was in a different language, I couldn't understand anything. The next presentation by Pallavi was really, really interesting on enhancing higher education quality through students' feedback. We know that, the students' feedback is very, very important in, higher education sector. This is one of the most important, the tool for quality assurance systems. As we explore innovative approaches such as online assessment, we must recognize its potential to enhance flexibility, inclusivity, and real-time feedback. However, it is also bring challenges such as maintaining integrity and ensuring equity. Effective assessment, whether formative or summative, it is crucial for understanding students' progress and guiding educators in refining their teaching strategies. As we navigate the shift towards digital education, our focus must remain on creating reliable, fair, and meaningful evaluation systems that promote holistic learning. We look forward to the insight that will emerge from this session as we strive to advance education through thoughtful assessment practices. I look forward to insightful discussion and innovative ideas that will pave the way for a brighter, more inclusive future in education. Addressed by chief guest in the morning, in the opening session, Madam Banerjee Kaur was very impressive. She rightly mentioned that The quality of an education system cannot exceed the quality of its teachers. It shows the importance of quality of teachers and their professional development. All the distinguished speakers presented well, and they were thought-provoking and inspiring. As Madam said earlier, the main objectives of the conference are knowledge sharing and creating networking among stakeholders and researchers. She quoted in the morning, Madam quoted a well-known Chinese proverb, give a man a fish and you feed him for the day. Teach a man to fish and you fish him for his life. This Ctpd Conera 2024, really a very good platform and opportunities for researchers, teachers, and teacher educators. As she mentioned, change is journey, not a destination. Let's put our hands together to enhance our knowledge as lifelong learners. My gratitude to all the organizers, those who have done a great job. Even really, my sincere thanks to Dr. Tina Gupta, who was continuously communicating with me to make this conference a great success. Last year also, I really contributed. I was part of it. Really, I love to share our expertise and creating networks. Hope we can meet soon, in physical. Nowadays, now e-conferences, now we are doing it, but definitely we need to have a very good, face-to-face conference where we all can share our thoughts and, our expertise. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Dr. Kiran and other organizers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Your insights have been profound and shall serve as a guiding force to us and for all the participants. Please accept as a token of gratitude from the organizer of the conference this virtual memento.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Please email me.
Okay, definitely, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
As we approach the conclusion of today's technical session, we have a special moment to acknowledge the outstanding contribution of Dr. Reena Onyal Tiwari, Conference Organizing Secretary, Program Director, Quality Circle, Ctpd India, as an Associate Professor, Department of Teacher Education, DAVPG College, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, India. Your dedication and expertise and leadership have played a crucial role in the success of this trek, and we are honored to present you with a virtual memento as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear track co-convener, Dr. Pooja Verma, ma'am, Conference Organizing Joint Secretary, Associate Program Director, Quality Circle, Ctpd India, and Assistant Professor, School of Education, K.R. Manglam University, Gurugram, Haryana, India. We want to take a moment to honor your exceptional contribution as the co-convener of track assessment and evaluation, and we are deeply grateful for your support. Please accept as a token of gratitude from the organizer of the conference this virtual memento. Thank you, madam, for your support and cooperation throughout the session. Dear Dear co-convener, Dr. Megha Joyal, Conference Organizing Joint Secretary Program, Director, Quality Circle, Ctpd India, and Assistant Professor, KLDAVPG College, Roorkee, Uttarakhand, India. We want to take a moment to honor your exceptional contribution as the co-convener of the track assessment and evaluation, and we are deeply grateful for your support. Please accept a token of gratitude from the organizer of the conference.
Thank you, ma'am.
Taking the program further, ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to draw the curtains on this enlightening technical session at Ctpd Conera 2024, it's my pleasure to invite a distinguished individual among us to express our collective gratitude and appreciation for the valuable insights we have gained today. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Megha Joyal, Conference Organizing Joint Secretary, Program Director, Quality Circle, Ctpd India, and Assistant Professor, KLDAVPG College, Roorkee, Uttarakhand, India. Ma'am, we would be honored if you could deliver the vote of thanks and expression of gratitude to the speakers and participants and summarize the essence of this session. Over to Dr. Megha Joyal.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rupali, ma'am. A very good evening to the distinguished guests, delegates, and dear participants. On behalf of CTPD, India, with a deep sense of gratitude, it's my immense privilege to deliver the vote of thanks for this enlightening technical session. Today, we have the opportunity to delve into the wealth of knowledge and exchange insights in our quest to further the frontiers of technology. First and foremost, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished chair, Dr. Kiran Datta Dangwal, Associate Professor, Department of Education, University of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, and co-chair, Dr. Mam Shamim, Faculty of Education, Southeastern University of Sri Lanka. Your expertise and dedication have been invaluable in enriching our understanding of assessment and evaluation. Your words were not only informative, but also inspiring, setting a very high standard for us all to aspire to. I would like to thank our track convener, Dr. Reena Unyal Tiwari, Associate Professor, Department of Teacher Education, DAV PG College, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, for giving an overview of the plenary session. I also want to extend our appreciation to the participants and presenters. Your active engagement and thought-provoking presentations have significantly contributed to the success of this session. Furthermore, I would like to acknowledge the hard work of the technical team, co-conveners, moderators, and all the people behind the scenes, individuals who have ensured the smooth flow of this session. I would also like to express my gratitude to the convener of the conference, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, President of CTPD and President at Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad, and Professor Dr. Tanya Gupta, Secretary General of CTPD, Conference Convener at KR Mangalam University, Gurugram. Additionally, my thanks goes out to all the officials and members of CTPD ERA 2024, the Board of Directors, trustee members, program directors, associate program directors of various circles for their firm support in conceptualizing and organizing an e-conference on such an important theme. With this, thank you so much. And now, dear Dr. Rupali Behel, our moderator for Subtrack 2.3, Assessment and Education, we want to take a moment to honor your exceptional contribution as the moderator. Please accept a token of gratitude from the organizers of the conference, this virtual memento.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for this appreciation.
Over to you, Rupali, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for attending our recent technical session. We hope you found the information valuable and experience engaging. We ensure we continue to improve and meet your expectations. We kindly ask you to take a few moments to fill our feedback form. Your insights and suggestions are incredibly important to us and will help shape our future session. The feedback link is given in the chat box. All of you open your video for group photo also. All the participants, please do ensure to fill the feedback form and also open your video for the group photograph of this session. And with that, we conclude this remarkable technical session. Knowledge is journey, not a destination, and each step brings us closer to new horizons. Thank you for your active participation and unwavering enthusiasm. Enjoy the rest of the sessions at the CTPD Conera 2024, and may your pursuit of knowledge continue to shine bright. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, no, we need to stay here, no?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
For selecting the best
Thank you.
paper.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kiran ma'am and Dr. Ma'am Sameem. A last request to please send to me directly the name of the best paper presenter. Both of you can discuss and send it to me to Dr. Rang.
After leaving our participants, we can sit and discuss it, no? Kiran ma'am?
Okay.
Yes.
That's also good, no?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We can.
Let others, leave.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Participants
Thank you,
can
ma'am.
leave.
Participants can leave now. Basundhara madam, you can leave. Anita Yadav ma'am, you can leave.
Dr. Kiran ma'am, as discussed in our official circle, actually the chair and the co-chair need to send it directly to the convener. It need not to be discussed. That is the case in all the technical sessions. You both can discuss and send it to me directly. Only the name of the best paper presenter, one only. Thank you,
Only
ma'am.
one. Okay.
Only one. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.